Hey, what up everyone? Pyrodrake here. So, a couple of weeks ago, I sat down to watch a movie. Scrolling through Netflix, a recommendation was made for the movie called 13 Demons. Now, I actually like bad movies. Things like The Room, Birdemic, Shock and Terror, anything by Uwe Boll, if I pronounce his name right, I can sit down and watch and have an amazing time. This movie, 13 Demons, even just watching it for irony's sake is a waste of time. To give you an example, I haven't had a cigarette in 8 months. The day after I saw this movie, I felt compelled to buy a pack of cigarettes. Is that a coincidence? Well, I'll let you decide. Just be advised, there will be spoilers. Our feature presentation begins with credits and a random William Howard Taft quote. And silence. Yeah, we're off to a great start. As I said before, I'll be the first to defend bad movies. Minos Hands of Fate, Birdemic, the Silent Hill and Mortal Kombat movies. I love them. They can be some of the most entertaining cinema around. This can't even hold a candle to something like Reefer Madness. They could have literally named this movie Dark Dungeons 2, RPGing Straight to Hell, and it would actually make more sense than it does now. And it might actually try to make a point, as bad as that point would be. And if you're not aware of what the movie Dark Dungeon is, John Tron has a great review on his channel. The bottom line is Dungeons and Dragons are bad. If you play RPGs, you're going to hell, and Cthulhu's there. Yay. Anyway, after a long dramatic wait, our film starts out in an interrogation room with 2 officers approaching a disheveled man covered in blood and in handcuffs. Already we can see the director really trying to get the full feature-length time here. It takes over a minute and a half before our first line of dialogue takes place.
State your name.
And another 30 seconds before getting an answer.
Torgal of Darkhaven.
We're not even 4 minutes in, and 90% of this film has been silence and wasted time. This is a long 75 minutes. Moving on. So, we're built to assume that the bloodied objects in the bags were used for nefarious purposes. Now, I don't know if it's just me, maybe I'm just that tense, but the first time I watched this movie, I swear I didn't even realize that the detectives are actually interviewing 2 different people. We apparently just have 2 long-haired, blood-soaked, disheveled men with gravelly voices in handcuffs. I mean, it may just be me not paying close enough attention, but it wasn't until my second watching that I realized that we actually have both of our quote-unquote heroes in custody here. Anyway, we're now introduced to our protagonist, antagonist, pointless tagonist. Is that a word? Can I use that? Ow. Anyways, the film stars Torgal of Darkhaven, and Ablesworth, Lord of the High Wind. It's at this point that we can assume our leads here are not exactly living in the real world, as they address themselves as Golden Paladins. So, according to them, they're here to rid the realm of the 13 demons of the apocalypse. We then find out that there's been 12 murders within the last month. From the point of view of these 2, they've been killing demons that threaten the land, and everyone else sees these demons as regular people. This fantasy isn't just limited to the people they see, but to their weapons as well. It appears that a simple stick is seen by Ablesworth here as the anointed dagger of Basuj. And our friend Torgal here has a steel pipe named the Sacred Scimitar of Asgarden. The dialogue crackles along without regard for anyone's time. Finally, 6.5 minutes in, we flash back. In this world, there exists a board game called 13 Diamonds, which the most bright-eyed of you will recognize that they spelled the movie name differently than the actual game it's supposed to be named after. So, according to our hero here, 30 years ago, a group of people went on a killing spree shortly after playing this game. The players of the game were apparently possessed, thinking their in-game characters were real. And they begin to unbox the game, stopping to acknowledge the smell every now and then. The guy that bought the game is eager to try this out with his friends. Meanwhile, the friends basically think that this is one of the stupidest things ever. So one thing I want to mention at this point, not once that I can see anyways, does it tell us what year it is. This movie came out in 2016, yet there's seemingly no cell phones, a rotary landline, and a guy playing Dragon's Lair on the NES. Yeah, so maybe mid-80s? Moving on. Of course, the trio decides that these murders that happened 30 years ago were meaningless, and so they eventually try the game. Now, I can't express to you how long it takes to get from scene to scene. So as they play, they continue to mention about how bad it smells. And I think we're supposed to interpret this as them being brainwashed, but the movie never actually tells us the significance of this, so who knows. So approaching 20 minutes in, and we have our first bit of action. All three of our guys pass out once one of them finally reaches a demon tile. Then it just cuts to an LSD dreamscape. I'm gonna be frank, I'm honestly not sure which one we're following at this point. He seems slightly weirded out for about a second, and then quickly accepts his role, finds the demon, and we're to assume he wins. So, the next day, I guess, we see the news where there was a murder the night before. Gasp! Also, there's blood on the TV matching the crosses on the board game, and this gentleman has leaves in his hair, I think. Anyway, they don't think any of this is overly weird, so they go back to the board game. Now, the two guys that were skeptical are singing this game's praises, especially Ablesworth here.
This is a really, really, really good game.
So, what makes it oh so much worse is the repetitive dialogue. One scene here in the real world has the guys arguing over who's the most faithful to the game.
Debated ancient philosophies, grant...
Why do you always misread this sacred book? It's a form of disrespect. The least you could do is show respect. What kind of person are you?
Or blaming each other for a lost die, which also they keep saying dice when referring to a single die.
Where's my dice? My dice was right here, now it's gone.
Okay, this is what I mean by, not respecting what we're trying to do. Why can't you be more prepared? I mean...
Did you take it?
You claim yourself to be a golden paladin warrior, and you can't even remember where your dice is, and you have the audacity to blame others in your own quest.
Oh. False alarm. Very sorry. I'm sorry.
Okay. Deep breath. So, they continue to play, noticing the spot that contained the demon tile disappear. Ooh. It goes so slow without any explanation, and after every demon/murder, the trio takes the game even more seriously than before. Paranoia ensues. So it would be at this point, I would say, spoilers, but no one should want to watch this movie anyways, so let's move on. Night 3. I feel like I'm playing Five Nights at Freddy's. So we have this guy. If you don't recognize him, he's the one that brought the game into their lives to begin with. Anyways, he finally landed on his own demon marker. Yay. So, let me get this straight. Somehow, he evidently has enough self-consciousness to call his parents beforehand. Yet, he's still unable to see this auto-attendant for who he is. Whatever. Drama, LSD fever dream drama, and he died. What's the best way to react to your friend dying? Well, how about a major workout? So, these two can now recite the entire DM book, including the
Roll a 5 or higher to join alliances with Cadmon's army.
They can roll their dice and move their character, all without touching it now. Yay. So, finally, it seems our movie is winding down. In the end, our two remaining protagonists turn on each other, thinking the other is the final demon. Just before they go to battle each other, it flashes to the moment that they're arrested. In this fantasy realm, the cop cars appear? Literally, the cops? So these guys, meaning they see everything else as fantasy except for just the cops' cars? But the police themselves? No, they're all medieval, because that makes sense, medieval, people coming out of freaking cop cars. Okay. Now, as far as the next and final scenes of the movie, I simply just cannot portray how bad it is. I can deal with stinted acting. I can deal with campy dialogue. Hell, I can even suspend my disbelief enough to have the evil board game possess 3 people, causing them to go on a killing spree. But this next bit is just so unbelievably bad. It amazes me that somebody thought this was a great idea. Okay, ready? So the final scenes have our two detectives arguing with our two murderers about whether or not they are playing a game. 55 times. They go back and forth 55 times over a period of 4 minutes.
You're confused. It's a game. This is only a game.
But this is just a fantasy game.
It's not a game.
It's just a game.
Not a game.
It is a game. It's not a game.
No, this is not a game. This part isn't a game. This is a game.
Not a game. This is a game.
It is not a game. This is a game.
For us, the viewer, it feels like 30 minutes, as all we hear is, it is a game, it's not a game, 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 it is a game, and then 55 times, and then it's over. I kid you not, that's it. No real resolution, no one to tell us what's going on. Like, were they actually possessed, or hypnotized, or what? Is this just like fear-mongering like Dark Dungeons was? I mean, my god, at least Dark Dungeons had a point. Not a good one, but a point nonetheless. This one has none. I swear, if you have just one takeaway from this, let it be this: avoid at all costs. Anyways, if you actually watch this, wow, thank you. I do have a lot of different movie and TV theories, and I'm actually enjoying teaching myself the basics of video editing, so hopefully I can do more of this, if I can get past my personal hang-ups about posting. Anyways, I hope everybody has a great day. Peace. Did he deserve to die? Yes, 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 yes. Okay, anyways.